Hi, I'm Austin, and this is Fucking Mess. Yeah, how's that mustache doing? Just sitting backwards on my toilet as usual. Um, Gonna put me on a nice Band-Aid. I'll be kind enough not to show you that. We'll just open it up here, but you don't have to look at it on my fucking horrible blister. So I might try and get some dirt today. I know you're like, don't you have enough dirt in your house? It's not going in the house, it's going around the house. I gotta get some soil for the garden. So anyway, let's get to this day. Stained pink shirt? Check. Band-Aid on each dirty foot? Check. Let's get this bread. Frigidaire washing machine for some fucking reason. Door handle I had to bolt back on because they wanted $127 for a door handle. So what's in the smoothie?
It is blueberries, peach, yogurt, milk, and some fiber supplement, and then a little bit of protein supplement, protein vanilla powder.
It's really good.
Leftover cereal, smorgasbord.
Alright, dirt's off. I put on my best dirty shirt for nothing. Looks like we'll be doing some other cleaning up today.
Move the pawpaws back.
Rat bastard cascade. Great. You can turn these inside out and mail stuff in them, and they work pretty well. They're nice and lightweight for all you guys sending mail out there. Trying to keep it first class. Well, I got the dirt, and the dirt is that there's high demand and they don't have any more dirt. So called them up, got the dirt, that there's no dirt, and got a call back. So I'm gonna sweep up in here. My case with all my stickers, and when I find random stickers that need to be stuck, I stick them. Let's see if we can do this. It's by Jamie. I got a t-shirt with that. We played that show. That was like the last show we played. And I'm gonna get a print from Jamie, I think. Check her out at Kittens of Industry on Instagram. This one's snooping around to see what's new as usual. This thing's sitting in the middle of the room, and I think it will provide for some interesting TV tomorrow night. I gotta fix this for the surprise I got planned, and here's some listening for today. I even showed this off in a previous episode, and I haven't listened to it yet, so that's happening now. I'm also going to make a variation on Mrs. Hockmeyer's banana bread. There's like 2.5 bananas, and I'm gonna, usually I do this with 3 or even 4, but I've got an extra ingredient I want to add. I gotta figure out something to do with these too. We grew these in the garden last year. They're kind of bland. So I want to glue this guy up. He's busted right there, and this will be a phone stand for my project Friday. Remembered our pie crust from last night, and I put a little sugar on the blueberries with some cinnamon, a little cornstarch, and a dash of almond extract, because why not? I have this stuff. It is guava paste. I bought a bunch of cans because they were super cheap. This has been in the fridge. I'm going to put this in our banana bread. I've done this before, and it was actually pretty good. But there's a little bit of an added step to Mrs. Hockmeyer's banana bread if you want to make it this way. That makes it slightly harder. What I love about that recipe is how easy it is. Oh, that one's pretty cute, and that one's not so cute. I'll eat that one, I don't care. Look like a child made them, but you know, it's my aesthetic. And if they're good, won't it be that more impressive if a child made them? To the guava paste, I chopped it up into some chunks, whatever. I'm going to heat it with some aquafaba, aka vegan egg whites, aka bean juice, and kind of liquefy it. Alright, here we go. Just over low heat, stirring constantly to dissolve. I've done this before, believe it or not. Gradually heating this and using my whisk to really chop up the bits. It's harder than jelly. Trying to think of how you would describe the texture. It's almost like one of those sticky hands that you'd get at the grocery store or something. It's thick and kind of grainy too, which I guess those sticky hands were nice and smooth. But yeah, you really gotta break it up and kind of coax it to dissolve. So that's, you know, maybe 5 minutes or so. Constant heating and whisking, that's about what you're looking for, no chunks. So let that cool a minute. Now this is sort of a twofold thing. The bean juice dissolves the guava paste, and it also replaces an egg in the banana bread recipe. Okay, so the recipe calls for a cup of sugar. I went a little light because the what the fuck is that? Gross. The stuff will add sweetness. I freeze my bananas before I do this, so they're much smoother, but these are just kind of ripe ones, but this is a good job for the old potato masher. There's a little vanilla extract in there. Last time I made this, I used a whole stick accidentally. I believe the recipe calls for 1/3 of a cup. There's 5 tablespoons. Suppose I probably could have added the butter when I melted the paste, but you know what, I forgot, so sue me. So there's our flour stirred into our banana mixture. Normally the beauty of this recipe is that you need only 1 bowl and a wooden spoon, but I like breaking up my extra utensils for this version. It's worth it. Sue liked it, I liked it. It's good. Alright, the baking dish is greased. Preheated the oven, which I should have done first, but I don't care. It should be at 350. I set it for 325 because I think this thing's been running hot lately. I run off my oven thermometer, which I find to be pretty reliable. I believe the cook time for this guy is an hour at 350, and I think the pies, they're a little small, so they'll probably cook faster. I'm just going to check them at the half-hour mark. The cook time for this guy is an hour at 350, and I think the pies, they're a little small, so they'll probably cook faster. I'm just going to check them at the half-hour mark. This is some paint and primer I was looking for. I'm making a slightly bigger loaf, I think, than this typically makes. So I just pump up the ingredients a little bit for this version. 2 cups of flour, a little more than a 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, and a little more than a 1/4 teaspoon salt. That's it. So this is for Buck, who said he was surprised I didn't arrange the garnishes suggestively in the Mr. Rogers episode. So here we go. Just what I've always wanted. My own sexy bakery. Ease it in there when the temperature is right. Beautiful. I've had the oven open a bit. You want to come inside? No, you just want me to pay attention to you. Get in the house. Come on. Meow, meow, meow. Come on. See how that thing's looking. So I sanded all the parts before I epoxied them together, and hopefully they will hold a phone steadily. Epoxy seems close to cured. Not... Okay, maybe it is a little sticky. Time to wash my hands yet again today. Alright, we've reached the halfway point. Things are looking good. Close that up and flip it around. Alright, fuck 5 o'clock. So that is a Paloma. 2 shots tequila. And instead of Chambord, we're using a little bit of John Maxon elderberry wine. Take a drink. And some of the Appalachian Distillery Blackberry Moonshine, topped up with grapefruit soda. I mentioned in an episode that I didn't film some potential rules for a drinking game that I need to find, so I will fill you in on those again. I got the lime juice and it needs it. I mean, you can't eat all your lunches over the sink, right? Gotta sit out on the porch a little bit. Got my Paloma here, which is... it's okay. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to talk and eat at you, why not? So don't worry, this will go back to my regularly scheduled shtick or whatever, but thought I'd do something different this week. I kind of got forced to because my phone ran out of memory, and I shot an episode that I couldn't edit together, and I wasn't sure if I really ought to share it right away or what, so I just shot a replacement one quickly, and I'll probably post that other one. Yeah. I wanted to do Scotch Week this week with people calling into Zoom, but I don't have Zoom figured out. I don't think it'll work on my computer. I'm not sure if it'll work on my phone. And Sue's having trouble even setting it up with both of her computers to get it totally working smoothly. So I've been doing really well with just phones. And I might stick with that. I'm not sure. But tomorrow night, I want to see if I can dig out a family movie and show it with Sue and I there to comment live. And that's why I've been cleaning up the front room. Thursdays I usually have a guest, but I haven't got anybody lined up for tonight. So Scotch Week, I guess, I wanted to try to be like people trying to get me into Scotch. I bought a bottle, maybe I'll make some cocktails with it. I kind of want to hear from other people and what they're drinking and what they like and that sort of thing. I had Scotch periodically throughout my life and was never too wild about it, and I think it was the peaty flavor that kind of threw me. But then I had some Lefroy that Andy Sharp gave me, and it was really forward with that flavor, but I liked it. So I don't know what to think. He had talked about having a sort of a periodic get together where everybody could kind of pool some cash and all sample from different bottles, hang out. I don't think it ever happened, and I thought it would be fun to maybe try to make a virtual version of that down in the bar, but we'll see if that comes to fruition. The banana bread and the pie should be done soon. I think they're both going to be about perfect at 1 hour. I checked them in the last, after 45 minutes to make sure they weren't burning or anything. Didn't seem bad at all. Sue and I have been polishing off that pimento cheese faster than I'd like to admit. That was pretty good. My onion soup was kind of meh. Pretty much my fault. I shouldn't have added that molasses. It's okay. It's not great. I wouldn't do it again, or I'd use a very, very, very tiny amount. I should have toasted the bread before I used it as croutons in the soup. I made croutons out of all of the remaining breads that we had around, so I'm thinking those might be better on future bowls of the soup, which we still have to eat. I'm excited for this banana guava bread. It was a pleasant surprise when I made it, another batch of it like a week ago, to get rid of more kind of past prime bananas and a big glob of that can of guava paste. I bought a bunch of cans of it at the Falling Five, which that's probably fallen in on itself by now or whatever. I see they're doing auctions, but it's like a discount store that has random stuff at it that you go dig through, almost like a Goodwill outlet. I think it's like store returns or something, but I found a bunch of cans of sealed guava paste, and it was like $2 for 4 huge cans, so I thought, what the hell? This was before all the pandemic scare stuff. Well, maybe back in January, when we really should have been scared, but weren't that much, weren't enough. Well, maybe scared is the wrong word. Prepared. Weren't prepared enough for it. Or didn't prepare enough for it. I shouldn't shift the blame there. But anyway. Oh. I keep talking about a drinking game, and I kind of made some like random rules. And I wrote them down. Now I'm not sure what I did with the notebook I had them written in. I'm not sure if I want to rewrite them. I would like to show off the rules though. But if you guys want to come up with some at home, I'd really like to hear what yours are, because that would be entertaining to me. I'm not one to really play along with drinking games per se, but I enjoy the silliness of rules to games, conceptually. And you could just think about drinking games as you're watching, even if you were not actually drinking along or whatever. You could just be like, oh my God, I would be so shithoused right now if I was. That's the fun, I guess. You don't have to drink, which is probably something I should tell myself one of these times, but you know, I'm doing this for me and for you. squirt that I used was really flat. But I've got another sealed 2 liter of it, so I'm in the clear there. I would definitely, I don't know why this drink calls for 2 shots of tequila. That is overkill. My 2 cents on this. Probably should have used a bigger glass. All right, back to it. All the alarms are going off. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, I gave the bread the toothpick test, and it was a little globby still, so I'm going to put all this back in the oven. I think these pies could brown up a bit more, and probably since there's so much mass, they're all going to need a little more heat. All right, got the death grip on my phone in my left hand. I got my Sprite in the right hand, and I push the button when I don't want to hear something. Goopy. Sounds like we might grill tonight. Maybe this guy's gonna get grilled. You thought this was a sad banana, but it's actually a plantain. Cry for me, Beanier. So uncooperative. I think I really just wanted squirt. Looks better towards the middle, maybe. It passed the toothpick test, so I think it's good. These look fine. I was thinking about some coffee. Good thing I found this one from the other day. So this is where all that toilet paper is going. I cannot take credit for this fine work of art. This is fine work of fart. This is by Ben Shao, who I've seen commenting a bit here and there. Hi to Ben. So I was randomly looking for my notebook, and I couldn't seem to find it, the one that has the drinking game in it. So I think I might just recopy it onto a clean sheet of paper and post it on the fridge. But it got me thinking of something. This is my friend Mike and I. The last time I had to be like funny sort of on the daily, and even then I got to, oh, there's the classic one. Even then I got to split the time with somebody else. So these damn cartoons, I'd take fucking 3 hours on one of these sometimes. Anyway, these are the guys that are out protesting. So Mike requested from me a long time ago that I send him some of his original drawings back, and I didn't follow through, and I know where they are, and I found them, and I think I'm going to make him up a package if he still wants them. This was found in the folder of stuff as an added bonus, so shout out to Ben. I don't know. I'm not going to go through all this crap. I think I have what I came to look for. While digging through my old folder, I happened to notice a couple of other random things. That looks like Joe's handiwork, and if I'm not mistaken, this might be a cartoon that Harold gave to Gary that then got lost in my shit. How about that? And Harold was salty about it. And it's about Duke as a chef, no less, with Clint. I don't know. We'll find out the mystery on that one. And now I gotta search the fucking stacks. I'm looking for a tape and I don't know where it is. Alright, these beets and this raspberry farmer cheese have been on my shit list, so I'm gonna broil them for a little snack. I forgot about it, so it should be perfect, right? Oh, it almost looks like it could use a little longer. I never gave up on VHS. This is what I was looking for. About now. Any grabber would be fine. How about that one? Yes. Yes, that's what I would like. With a little biscuit, maybe. There we go, a little toasted biscuit. So this is the notebook I keep yammering on about that I was going to introduce the other day, but then didn't. So these are all suggestions for a drinking game if you want to drink along with Mitch. That's me. So drink when I drink, finish your drink when I do, organ, joke, or sound. You can hear my nose whistle or audible breathing, a Trump or Republican slam those fucking shitheels. Take a drink. Pot reference, circuit bent device appears on camera, or you can hear it. Pun or obscure reference, John Maxon or Keith are mentioned, so that is why I keep saying John Maxon, take a drink. You should have taken 2 drinks there. So if I give a shout out, if I make you feel uncomfortable, if we have a guest, you see a cat or an S Pen, which is my shutter trigger, or suit, and then this was, I actually hinted at this and I didn't have it on the list, and it's funny. I forget something. And you might consider, you know, if I make you wait for it while I have forgotten it, you can just keep drinking until I come back on camera, especially if I'm, say, running into the other room for something. All right, go do your thing. All right, so... Alright, so week's format's been a little bit weird. This is sort of like a condensed day hanging out with me, I guess. Edited down with some cooking in it, just, I don't know, for funsies, and because I was running out of steam and ideas for shtick, you know, so switch formats, and I don't know, it's sort of guided this way by my phone problems or whatever, which are solved now. So I want to do something special for the end of the week. Have some of these beets and cheese on a biscuit while I'm thinking here. I was never a huge fan of beets or goat cheese separately, but together, this is great. So I mentioned the rules of the drinking game. This is John Maxon wine, elderberry wine still. Still working on that. Take a drink. Alright, so thought I'd show off what I dug out of the piles to show you guys. So anything that was a complete blank tape I grabbed just to see what the hell might be lurking on some of these sealed ones, and if it's nothing, then I'll put them with the other blanks. Dame Edna's Neighborhood Watch. I watched some of this once and it was really weird. They send a camera into people's houses to look for weird stuff. You know, sex toys or just messes, or I don't know. It felt really creepy and voyeuristic, which I guess is sort of what I've been going for with this format. I wanted to show that, you know, what you see through the internet portal is only a tiny fragment of the picture. So anyway, 911 emergency with Mr. Peppermint. That's to show Sue and get a laugh out of him, maybe put up on the big screen and transfer to the interwebs. There's another blank. Probably all episodes of Wonder Woman taped off TV or something. Sue family movies. I think it might be like her folks' 50th wedding anniversary or something like that. I duped some of these at one point, but Cliff home movies, if this is what I'm thinking it is, and it looks like it lost a label, so probably yes. This is my grandfather narrating a bunch of 8mm movies from the 60s that were transferred to VHS, and if you thought this show was unscripted, well, it got a big laugh when I showed it at Christmas one year, so I'm gonna check it out. And then I've got some. I was bitching about sharpening, and my lack of skill in that department. And look at this sealed tape of easy sharpening techniques. So what I'll do is maybe I'll watch this on hyperlapse, and it'll be like the Matrix when I'm like, whoa, I know sharpening now. And then I'll be like, shing, 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 and sharpen a bunch of shit. Or not, but you guys can watch it with me, and I'll tell you my review. But, you know, I'm only going to actually transfer stuff that is not copyrighted already, and I got some wood carving tapes also sealed to go with that. Oh boy. Put these away and finish my grilling. We're making a Blue Apron tonight, and although this is not part of it, this is another Blue Apron recipe. I've got my plantains sliced up. We're going to fry it and add it to a kale salad. In they go. You just want to brown them well on both sides. So I added some garlic cloves to this. I had turned the heat off because these look pretty good and cook this a little while longer. Then add some kale and some lime juice and some oil and vinegar, salt and pepper. All the noises from Sue cooking onions over here. Heat's off. I probably overdid some of these plantains. Salted, peppered, lime juice, a little vinegar, a little olive oil drizzle. That looks good to go. Oftentimes when we're grilling and the coals are still looking nice, we'll throw an eggplant on. This is not an eggplant. This is the mystery squash from the garden last year that has made it through the winter. So I'm going to let it ride out on these coals. We'll see how well it's cooked, and I'll probably finish it up in the oven or something. I put the lid on. Steam it up maybe. See what happens. There's dinner. There's compost. And if it was an eggplant that would have been on the grill, we would have made baba ganoush out of it. I don't know what we'll do with that squash yet. Goodbye, squash.